Hello and welcome to the next preview in my LCK Spring 2023 preview series. We're going to cover Damwon KIA. Let me just make sure I'm still on the screen. I am. When doing this board, I really came to the conclusion that Damwon KIA could be the best organization top to bottom right now, depth chart wise, in the world. This depth chart is absolutely disgusting. I think that their challengers team is better than some LCK teams. I think it's better than quite a few LPL teams, and definitely better than the majority of Western teams. Like this Challengers team is disgusting. Their academy team looks so pretty. I mean, they got a lot of young players, and some of them are better than players that are in 5 years their senior. Like, it's truly exceptional. So Damwon KIA, 2022, they went 21-15 domestically, obviously dropping out at World's quarterfinals to Gen G in 5 games. Went 44-28 at the challenger level, and then 6-5-3 in academy. They actually have 4 teams, 2 different academy teams. Very confusing situation. Couple moves they made this past offseason. Nuguri retired, so they replaced him with Kana from Nongshim Red Force, and then let Duck Dom go and replaced him with Deft, the defending world champion. So they got older. Excuse me, still sick. Still sick, disclaimer. So they got older at the AD carry role. They're 22.4 years old going into the season. So, Kana, 22 years old, put up a 2.6 KDA, 8.2 CS per minute, 61 KP. So, a little more KP than a lot of other players, over 3 out of every 5 kills he's involved in. And he is winning his matchup more often than not, so that's pretty good. 496 damage per minute, 25.7 damage share, 22.4 gold share. So, kind of a hybrid of a second to third tier carry. Normally your top laner is your third tier carry. So, I mean, I think that from my perspective with Damwon KIA, I think that Kana can replace Nuguri based on how Nuguri played last year. I thought Kana did well for Nongshim at times, was the only thing going well for Nongshim for quite a bit of the split. Kana had 8 solo kills across 42 games, played 13 champions. Gwen, Gnar, Renekton being his 3 most played. I think he went 5-1 on Renekton as well. Behind him, there is pressure from Thanatos. I think Thanatos should be a player right now in the LCK. He is LCK ready. At 18 years old, put up a 2.8 KDA, 8.9 CS per minute. That's disgusting. 46.5 KP though. So, he is a split push by himself in solo lane kind of guy. If you're getting into 46.5% of the kills, that means you are on an island. And no wonder why his farm is so high. But I think even if it was 10% higher in KP, he still would be above 8.5, which is better than the majority of solo laners outright, let alone top laners. 457 damage per minute, 22 damage share, 21.9 gold share, 16 solo kills across 36 games. He played 10 champions. Gnar, Sejuani, Gragas being the 3 most played. At the academy level, they have Siwo. I'm going to go Siwo at 15 years old. Put up a 3.48 KDA, 7.52 CS per minute, 54.1 KP, so is not ready yet. 600 damage per minute, 20.3 gold share, 10 champions, 28 games. Ornn, Illaoi, and Renekton, 3 most played. So an Illaoi enjoyer, definitely not expected. But not ready for the bump yet. And at 15 years old, that player is, best case scenario, 2 years away. More realistically, 3 to 4 years away. Jungle, Canyon. Obviously, at 21 years old, Canyon is considered to be maybe the greatest jungler ever. Already at this point in his career, and he has he could have several years left in his role. Put up a 3.9 KDA, 5.6 CS per minute, 69.1 KP last year in summer, 340 damage per minute, 15.2 damage share, 18.6 gold share, 2 solo kills across 41 games, played 15 champions. He is the best, if not 1A, 1B with Kanavi in the world right now. He's had consistent years of success. Actually, this past split was his worst split, where I even dropped him down in my power rankings jungle power rankings going into Worlds to a degree that honestly was very inaccurate. I acknowledge that I think I had Canyon a bit underrated going into the event. Trundle, Viego, and Wukong, his most played in summer. Canyon's cracked. He is not losing his job. Reason why this is notable, Lucid is behind him. Lucid at 17 years old showed a lot of promise last year. I think one more year in Challenger is going to bode well for him at a 4.1 KDA, 5.5 CS per minute, 67.4 KP. Average at that point in his career, just kind of an average Challenger level jungler. But he has years to develop here. He's only 17 years old. He's got at least one, if not two more years, and I think all he needs is one. There are a lot of nice things you can read about Lucid online. He's a good player, 294 damage per minute, 14.4 damage share, 18.6 gold share, 9 solo kills across 36 games. He played 9 champions. Wukong, Lee Sin, and Poppy were his most played. There is pressure from behind him, though. At only 15 years old, there is Charvel. Charvel put up a 3.16 KDA, 6.1 CS per minute, 68.7 KP in the Academy system. He probably is better than Academy. So, you have a situation here where their third-tier jungler could be better than their second-tier jungler, or at the very least should be getting promoted, but there is no room for him. 547 damage per minute, 20.8 damage, 20.8 gold share. Maybe it's a situation where you even loan him out to another LCK team to get him challenger games. I mean, it's a hot take to try and kind of give him to the enemy like that, but to get him stage time at only 16 years old might be I don't even know if they're allowed to do that. 10 champions in 28 games, Viego, Hecarim, Sejuani. So the jungle role deep for Damwon KIA. So far we have what? 1, 2, almost 2.5 players out of 4 that should be getting promoted for Damwon KIA at the lower levels. Mid lane Showmaker, still only 22 years old. One of my top 5 mid laners in the world, put up a 6 KDA, 8.8 CS per minute, 67 KP. 2 out of every 3 kills and an 8.8 CS per minute. It's very good, especially when you take into account that in summer, for the majority of it, Canyon and Showmaker left a lot to be desired. So to put up good numbers in the end is really something. 499 damage per minute, 23 damage share, 22.3 gold share, 3 solo kills across 41 games. He played 14 champions. Lissandra, Silas, and Talia were his 3 most played. Definitely more of a facilitator on that Lissandra, going around the rift and roaming and making things happen. Behind him you have Pulbay. At 18 years old, put up a 3.1 KDA, 8.6 CS per minute, 68.2 KP. So close, similar to Lucid, probably needs one more year in Challenger. Put up a 583 damage per minute, 28.2 damage share. So that is borderline, well, the way this team actually shakes out, that is tied for the most damage share on the team. So he was a co-leader in damage. 21.6 gold share. 14 solo kills across 36 games. Would play 13 champions. Swain, Yone, and Corky were his 3 most played. Saint at 18 years old, the oldest player on their academy team. We'll see what happens with him. Still only 18 years old. There's development to be made here. But 3.18 KDA, 8.59 CS per minute, 60.7 KP. So not at Pulbay's level right now. Is listed as the sub for the Challengers team, but remains to be seen. We have to keep in mind there are other players I didn't list because there are no stats for them. Damwon KIA has at the academy level in both teams. There's like 4 or 5 players in each role. This team is loaded with prospects. 743 damage per minute, which is the highest on this board. 22.3 gold share, 8 champions, 28 games. Akali, Lissandra, and Victor being Saints' 3 most played champions. In bot lane, we have Deft. At 26 years old, he is playing a utility role on this team. He is going to be a weak side player. If they expect Deft to be more than a weak side player, this team is destined to fail. Now, with that in mind, I think that if Deft can do better than Duckdom did in that role, this team has potential, to really take it to the next level. We're looking at a situation where Damwon KIA could be where Gen G is this year, next year. With, slight differences, obviously, between, Canyon and Showmaker versus Peanut and Chovy and the top lane and things. But with the AD carry position, I think that is something that this team is going to definitely have to address. Because Deft, 26 years old, went 3.7 KDA, 8.3 CS per minute, which frankly sucks. 71.6 KP, 581 damage per minute, 27.9 damage share, 23.2 gold share, 1 solo kill across 45 games. He played 15 champions, so he has an ocean, and of course that makes sense. He's 26 years old. Senna, Kalista, Aphelios is 3 most played. The Senna obviously hurting his farm. But he is a utility player now. He's a weak side at this point in his career. I think bringing him in is a decision to try and help not only Kellen, but the next player on the list, which is Rahel at 18 years old, who I think definitely should be in the LCK right now. The fact that he isn't is a travesty. I think Damwon KIA, there is a case to be made that Damwon KIA could have brought up Thanatos and Rahel, and some people would have thought that was a hot thing for them to do because, bring up 2 rookies with Canyon and Showmaker. But honest to God, I think there's a case to be made that they could have gotten away with that and been, better. Arguably, they could have been better than what they're going to be. I think Rahel is disgusting. At a 4.3 KDA, 10.2 CS per minute, 65.8 KP. He's frankly graduated from Challenger. 595 damage per minute, 28.2 damage share, 25 gold share, 5 solo kills across 36 games. Played 11 champions. Aphelios, Ezreal, Sivir. I'm honestly thinking to myself, should they do what Nongshim did with Vital and send Rahel to Japan? Send him to Japan for the split. Get him stage time at what might be a higher level of play than LCK Challenger. I mean, I think there's a case to be made because this guy is way too good. I mean, he's just going to dominate Challengers again. There's nothing there for him anymore. Behind him, you have Selena at 17 years old, hit a 2.94 KDA, 8.66 CS per minute, 59.4 KP. They're not ready to be promoted, but I think for the grand scheme of things, forcing them up and allowing Rahel to get stage time is a bigger deal than giving Selena development on the academy team. 653 damage per minute, 23.2 damage share, 6 champions, 28 games. Lucian, Varus, Sivir for Selena. In the support role, we have Kellen at 21 years old, a 5 KDA, 78.9 KP, 264 vision score a minute, 1 cleared ward every 4 minutes roughly, 10 champions in 36 games. Yumi, Tom Kench, Renata being the 3 most played. Behind him, you have Bible. And what's interesting about Bible is outside of Deft, Bible is the oldest player in the Damwon KIA org. Which is a surprise, because a lot of people say, oh, Bible should be the Bible's actually 2 years older than Kellen. He's even older than Showmaker and Canyon. Like it's kind of, he just might not be good enough. A 3.5 KDA, 67.3 KP, 2.61 vision score, 1 cleared ward over every 3 minutes, 12 champions, 28 games. Rakan, Nautilus, Yumi. Bible may be putting pressure on Kellen, because Kellen's not that good. But I think Bible, just like a lot of Korean players, is going to end up kicking around in minor regions for a few years, because I don't think that he has it. And I think a sign of them realizing this is bringing in Loopy from Fred at Brion's academy system. At 18 years old, Loopy put up a 1.9 KDA, 70.6 KP, 2.38 vision score a minute. 2 cleared wards every 5 minutes. 11 champions, 27 games. Nautilus, TK, Rakan. So that's what that tells me, is bringing in Loopy is probably because they're probably going to bring Bible up as the sub. Bible's not going to play much, and then he's just going to end up going to like Latin America or who knows where and just kick around for a couple of years. Thumb at 15 years old in the academy team. probably a player that deserves, you know, a longer look, but at 15 years old, there's not much you can really do with him right now. 449 KDA, 74 KP, 7 champions, 28 games. Interesting champion pool with a Nami, a Tarek, and a Yumi. So we have a Tarek and an Alawi sighting on here for these academy players. Damwon KIA are cracked from top to bottom. Like I said, I think Thanatos, Charvel, Rahel, all deserve promotions. Thumb probably could get a promotion, but Thumb and Charvel are so old. They're, I mean, not so young. They're probably maybe not even eligible. I mean, it's really something like, you know, this team was in discussions with Viper, but Viper said he wanted to play with KIA instead of Kellen. Instead, Viper decides to go to HLE to play with Life, so it sounds like the support role was a big deal to him. And I can't blame him to go away from Kellen. And really think about it, Damwon KIA then are choosing between Teddy, Duck Dom, and Deft. And I'm shocked they went with Deft over Teddy. I think Teddy still has a little bit more left in the tank than Deft does, but Deft being a former world champion, there's a little bit of proven. You know, he's proven himself at the highest level. Obviously, Teddy's played a long time, but you know, they made a decision at 80 carry. I think this team, like, this team is set up for now. It's set up for the future. I think a lot of people are focusing on JDG and T1 right now for, like, Worlds long term, right? Some people thinking top. But this is the team here that I think is, like, the dark horse, if there is one, to winning the whole damn thing. And I really am curious if they had went with Rahel and Thanatos, if I would feel that that's even a bigger possibility than what they have now. Because those guys are ready. Those guys are cracked. So comment down below with your opinions on Damwon KIA. Like the video if you like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter. Join the Discord. Become a YouTube member. And thank you for watching.